Hi, everybody. It's John Gist here.
And I'm DeDe Brown.
Welcome to episode 3 of Black on the Scene, a podcast about our love for all things Black entertainment.
As two entertainment industry executives, John and I have come together to honor the many accomplishments within Black entertainment that celebrate us, the culture, and we're so excited for you to take this journey with us and learn why Black on the Scene is our love letter to Black entertainment.
On today's episode, we are discussing some of our favorite upcoming Blackity Black releases hitting theaters and streamers this summer.
Woo! It's going to be a great summer to be watching films back in theaters and maybe a couple from the comfort of my couch. We hope you like our selections. So let's get into Black on the Scene, the summer movies and TV episode. Let's hit it.
Hey, everybody. Happy Saturday. DeDe Brown, how are you?
Very well now that I am seeing you and we are Black.
On the scene. Hey, so excited. So excited to talk about today's episode. It's so crazy that it's June right now, right? Like it's like summertime. It's blazing outside. People are vaccinated. We're out and we're back, kind of feeling a little normal now, which is so crazy thinking about like the last year. So I'm excited to talk about like what's coming up and what's coming out.
Well, I tell you what, movies are back.
Movies are back. Movies are back in theaters.
In theaters.
Exactly.
Let's get it right.
Yes, we are back in theatrical, which is so exciting because I love, we talk about this all the time, DeDe, like just the idea of watching a movie in a theater and like as some would say as simple as that is, but it's such an experience, right? Like we've seen a lot of movies together in theaters or at premieres or special screenings or whatever, but it's like, it's such a sense of community. It's nothing like some good old theater popcorn and a nice cushy seat and just sit back and hearing something and watching something with these speakers and these big screens. It's a whole vibe. I love it. I actually have missed it. Like I haven't done it in such a long time.
It's a vibe. It's a community. There's nothing like seeing a movie just surrounded by energy, excitement,
especially a Black movie, because you're gonna hear all the chatter and all the chit chat and the oh Lord, everything that you hear from our people. That's something that you cannot manufacture that. You cannot just say I want to flip the switch on for that, because it's such an experience.
I tell you what, we have a way of narrating the movie.
Start to finish, from opening credits to end credits.
Oh my gosh, that is so funny. It is funny. It is true. And you're going to get the appreciation from Black folks. Mm-hmm. Black folks are going to let you know what's what.
Exactly. The good and the bad. All of
good and the bad. Forget like Black Twitter and being on social. What's happening in that movie theater?
Be in the room in real time. Oh yeah, it is a thing. It is a thing.
A thing. So before we get started, let's talk about what we're drinking.
Okay.
What are you having this morning?
I'm a tequila lover. So I actually have Dwayne Johnson's tequila, which I really, really love. And I just I made a little bit of fresh peach puree, and then I had some strawberry lemonade in here. So it's like a very refreshing, light cocktail that is so yummy. So it's gonna be empty by the time we're done with this. P.S.
For sure. So what would we call that? The John Teeny? The Black on the Scene Teeny?
John Aretha.
All right, John Aretha.
What do you got?
So I have I love a bubbly. I've got it's a little Prosecco, You know, I don't like a lot of juice, unlike you. So I've got a little splash of fresh grape juice.
That's where we differ. We go our separate ways on the alcohol.
I like my alcohol very forward in my drink, very present.
I like it. Yeah, I like a little come back. I like it to sneak up on you.
And a little bit of Saint Germain to give it a tiny bit of, you know, little something special, and an orange wedge.
It's cute. I love it. It fits you.
Cheers.
Cheers.
It's a little sparkly but tart and a little surprising, like me.
Sparkling, tart, and surprising, like me. Okay, I give it that. I won't call you tart though. You're not a tarty girl. You're a party girl. You're not a tardy girl.
We're not at that episode yet.
Right. Let's talk, DeDe. Let's talk about the summer. You know, we're just started June and we're in the thick of it. And you know, and like you said, theatricals coming back. We have a really good wealth of a variety of films, specifically coming out, you know, from various genres that I think, you know, people will really resonate with. So how do you want to kick it out? Let's see. What do we want to talk about first?
Should we talk about theatrical? We're hitting summer movies, so there are movies that are already out that we won't talk about, but it's all about summer fun, the variety. You know, it's going to be so hot. It's already hot in New York, and this would be a great day to hit up a movie. One that I'm looking forward to in particular is ZOLA.
ZOLA, yeah. ZOLA from A24, June 30th. Yes.
I was not familiar with the story because...
Wait, you weren't?
No, because I was not on... I was probably on Twitter, but like Twitter confuses me. I'm just like, oh my God, it's just so much. So when that was happening in real time, I knew nothing about it.
I remember I was on a group chat, and actually with our friend of the show, Lauren Nikki Cameron, and she sent it to me, and she was like, "Have y'all gotten into this?" And I was like, "No." She's like, "It's so juicy," and it's like and I really remember reading the thread, and I was like, "This is a movie." At some point in time, this will be a movie, because it was so. The way that she wrote it, you just were like, literally, it was like each tweet was a painted picture, and you could visually just see it all. So for it to now be an actual film, 4 or 5 years later, however many years it's been, it's so crazy to me.
Tell the people what it's about.
I mean, it's a ZOLA is. I mean, it's so crazy to even talk about, but it's, you know, it started on as a Twitter conversation about just ZOLA's experience with this other character, and just all the shenanigans that occurred, pimps and stripping and murder, and just like all these different things that this came. And it was, I believe, it was like over a few nights of an experience. And now fast forward to June, the film is going to be coming out. And, you know, I thought the trailer was captivating and beautiful. Black female director. It was just like, it's just such a, it's such an interesting thing, because like, again, it's like the power of social media, right? Like how she just is, I'm recapping this experience from my life, and next thing you know, it goes viral. Like it legit went viral, and people were talking about this story and just like what transpired, because it was so kind of crazy and out of this world. You're like, this is all really, really happening, and it's all been like confirmed to actually have happened and everything. So now it's a film, and now people can really see it on the big screen and see like everything that transpired that ZOLA was talking about.
So ZOLA, let's just read the synopsis, because I love the synopsis.
Mm-hmm.
Thus began the odyssey of one Asia, I believe that is correct, Asia King, aka ZOLA, from acclaimed writer director Janzica Bravo. ZOLA's stranger than fiction saga, which she first told in a now epic, iconic series of viral, uproarious tweets, comes to dazzling cinematic life. Taylor Page, plays Zola, a Detroit waitress, strikes up a new friendship with a customer, Stephanie Riley Coe. Oh my God, did I pronounce her name wrong? I love her. I think she's such a great actress. Elvis's granddaughter, who seduces her way to join a weekend of dancing and partying in Florida. What at first seems like a glamorous trip full of hoism rapidly transforms into a 48-hour journey involving a nameless pimp, an idiot boyfriend, some Tampa gangsters, and other unexpected adventure in this wild see it to believe it tale. Holy smokes. When that trailer dropped, I was like, I can't wait. Remember when it was playing at Sundance and we couldn't get in to see it last year?
It was playing at Sundance last year in June 2020.
Before the world shut
January
down.
2020, before we shut down. But you all remember also every time we saw some press and like our friends, like I remember Kelly Carter and Aramide, like they both were like, they were like, oh my God, it was so good, it was so good, it was so good. So it was like, that was like already a hype, very well talked about project last year. So now again, A24 has acquired it and they're releasing it later in June. So definitely one of my top films I'm definitely going to see, like 100%.
100%.
I wish we could see it together, DeDe, because I feel like that's one of those moments we would want to really see it together, because we could be like, oh my God, like, you know, like just talking back to the screen and everything.
Love. And I do love Taylor Page. I think she's a young, bright talent.
Yeah.
I've enjoyed watching things that she's been in over the years. And certainly she was obviously in Ma Rainey's Bottom as a very coquettish. Yeah.
A very good moment. Yes. Totally.
Yes. Can't wait. Well, maybe a little bit more for families. That you could take the whole family to see is a blast from more, I think, feels like my past is
It's my
Space
past
Jam.
too. It is my past too, 100%. Because Space Jam: A New Legacy from Warner Brothers, July 16th. And you know, the thing that Warner Brothers is doing right now is they're doing day and date. So you can watch it in theaters or you also can watch it on HBO Max. So I'm excited about this one because again, it is a piece of my childhood. The first one came out in 95. I would probably, if I had to guess, if I'm a betting man, I would say 95, maybe 96, give or take 1 or 2 years. But I remember watching that movie and I remember actually my dad taking me and my brother to go see it. And I was like, and mind you, I'm not a basketball fan whatsoever, but everyone knew who Michael Jordan was. Obviously, he was the GOAT, and he is the GOAT. And just merging that world with the Looney Tunes, Bugs Bunny, Donald Duck world in basketball, it was such a fun movie. It was such a fun movie. And again, I have such vivid memories from childhood. So now seeing it, you know, in 2021, and now it's like LeBron, the new GOAT of this generation, leading the pack, directed by Malcolm D. Lee, who we love from Girls Trip and Night School, in the Best Man series. Like, it's just like, I'm excited. I'm so excited to see this one and see what LeBron does with it.
This movie is going to be so fun. I mean, we're talking 1996. You are correct. I may have been a grown person.
I was in 6th grade.
I may or may not have been a grown person in 1996, but it starred a grown person. I mean, it starred Michael Jordan, Charles Barkley, Muggsy Bogues, Patrick Ewing. So it not only had some of the greatest basketball players of our time in general. So it's back, as you said, with LeBron James, Don Cheadle, Chris Davis, who's a baseball player from the Texas Rangers, Sonequa Martin Green, who's also just a bright, you know, star in film and TV. I mean, she's doing her thing on The Walking Dead, Star Trek series. She's just great, and she's been in so many things that you don't even realize that she's been in. And it's produced by who?
Ryan Coogler,
LeBron James, and Maverick Carver.
So yeah, this is through his Spring Hill Entertainment, his production company. So it has all of the right ingredients. So like, I think the nostalgia of it all, the fact that it still feels new and fresh and updated. Like, I just think it has that where you're going to have people with kids, people who saw the original, people who are semi-adults when the original came out, people who are children. Like, you're going to get all of that with this film. So I'm excited for it. So that's,
and the father-son relationship.
the
We're talking
father-son.
about, we're talking about Black excellence here. We're
Yeah.
talking about Black excellence on and off the screen.
Representation, yes.
Representation, and the whole father-son relationship. And of course, LeBron's son, Bronny, is, following in his father's footstep, and is doing his thing as well, and making his own mark in the on the sports world. So I just LeBron can do it all. He really can. I have so much like love and reverence for him, as I think most people do, because he really has just taken the world by storm, but just doubling down on all of his creativity and his business acumen. I mean, if you think about Magic Johnson was and is this iconic basketball player, but also businessman. And I think, he definitely has he's coached. He has also done, been an analyst and on camera reporter for the NBA. And LeBron has it's like, he's just this multifaceted, multi-talented guy. And it's just always so great to see how much he brings so much of his personality, his history, his talent. He's just an awesome guy.
And
he
I
really
think,
is.
what another thing I respect about him too is that he's so intentional about like what's after basketball. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, he knows that he can't play this forever. And he's like, I want to line up, like you said, different businesses, different areas where I can still have an impact on the community. And like, for me, I love The Shop, his show on HBO. And it recently came back for a new season. And it's just like, again, you take barbershop talk and then you make it a show. You know what I mean? Like, because that's such a thing in the culture with people and their barbershops and their salons. And it's such a invigorating show where they're talking with various people with various backgrounds, and just, again, like, trying to make an impact. So I think that's a really good way, a good entry point. This film, The Shop, and everything that he's doing with his different ventures of really,
and his philanthropy. Let's talk about the school. The ripple effect of his passion and his love for the culture, his love for us, is reverberating, and it's just going to have the impact for generations to come. And so we celebrate him for that. And Space Jam is definitely something I plan on seeing. It's out July 16th in theaters and on HBO Max.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, you already know the one film I've been chomping at the bits about is Respect.
Is Respect. RESPECT. Find out what it means to me.
But I don't think I knew you could actually sing. I can't carry a tune in a record.
That sound good? I didn't hear that back.
Yes. Yes.
So everyone, Aretha Franklin is like, people always be like, you are such an old soul because I love older music. I grew up on it. My dad played it all the time in the house. And so I know this woman's discography like it's no one's business. So like, I am a huge fan of Aretha Franklin. Like, I hate that I never got a chance to see her live. And I had an opportunity in LA and I missed it. And when she was at the Bowl, and I was like, darn it, I was working and I wasn't able to see it. And she is a entity. That voice is like no other. I mean, she is a godsend. Like, I love her. So I'm excited for this. Like, I think that I can't think of anyone else playing this woman except Jennifer Hudson. I think this is like, we talk about casting, like, this is like perfect casting. And I know Aretha had a very, very heavy hand in picking Jennifer for this and really trying to like navigate in culture before she passed away. And so I think it's gonna be spectacular. I think I'm excited. Like, this is it. This may be Jennifer's second Oscar. Like, this is it's gonna be a moment. It's gonna be a whole moment.
Come on, second Oscar. Listen, you said it all. I got goosebumps with you just talking about Aretha. And certainly Jennifer, who is just mind-blowing. Like, you think back to Dreamgirls, you think back to, forget that, you think back to American Idol.
Yeah.
And I remember watching her. And by the way, what is she, in her mid to late 30s at this point?
Yeah, I think we're around the same age. Yeah.
Yes, she's still so young. And Aretha. First of all, let's get on this cast for a second. We got Jennifer Hudson. We already know.
Done.
Living legend already. Boom.
Yes.
Titus Burgess, who can sing like nobody's business. He is, I loved him on the Kimmy Schmidt show. He cracked me up. If y'all have not seen his Pinot Noir little clips, please Google that. It is one of the funniest things I've ever seen. Marlon Wayans, who I would like to know what he's drinking, eating, smoking, whatever, because he still looks the same.
And I think, Marlon's getting a lot of great. He's got a lot of great recognition for this role because it's different for him. It's not comedic. It's very serious, very dramatic. And he plays her husband, and there may be some award buzz around his character as well.
Is he paying Glenn Thurman?
Is he? No, I think he's not. No, she was married. She was married to somebody else. He's not playing Glenn Thurman. I forgot they were. Were they married or were they just dating?
They were married.
They were married. Okay, I couldn't remember they were married.
Yes. Okay. Yes. He's also one of the OG Black actors that has been around.
He's playing the abusive husband, whoever that is, because I don't have the name.
And of course, we've got Queen Mary.
Queen Mary. You know what, Mary J. Blige. Let me talk. Let's just pivot for 1 second. We can
do a whole show on her.
We can do a whole show on her because that's another queen that I just love so much.
Queen.
But, I just think back again, like My Life, Share My World, No More Drama, like just countless albums that she's had. But now she's having this really, really great acting career. Which is so, it's so like amazing. Like, it's like at one point she was doing little small roles here and there, but now she's like, I'm an actor. She's been nominated for an Oscar twice. So it's like, like it is a thing. It is a real thing. So I want to give my flowers and respect to her as a musician, as a writer, as a voice, but also as an actress. Get it, Mary. Also shout out to her because her Lil' Kim and besties, and I got to ride for my girl. But yes, so. Love us some Mary J. Blige.
Love. Let's talk about icons. Who's gonna play Mary?
Who's gonna play Mary J. Blige?
That's a whole that could be another show. Listen, who could play Mary? Can anyone dare? I don't know.
Yeah, there's somebody.
Hands down, my favorite album of hers is What's the 411? The original. Oh yeah. I may or may not. Again, I've been a grown person when that album came out.
I was young when that album came out. That was like 92, maybe. I was deep in elementary school. So I remember like
John,
I needed to wait till I was in middle school at least to hear like My Life, because that was a real oh God, I love My Life.
Yes. And then our Broadway queens, but not just Broadway. They are small and big screen and stage. Audra McDonald, Heather Headley. I mean, this, again, goosebumps on my legs, just thinking about this cast. And Forrest Whitaker, it's written by Tracy Scott Wilson, a Black playwright. It's co-produced by Harvey Mason Jr., who we all know is an iconic music producer, writer. He's also the interim president of the Recording Academy. This
is a good one. August 13th, like this is, obviously COVID pushes back. And I think there's going to be a lot of great, amazing conversation with this film. Like, I think people are going to connect with it and resonate with it. I think it's also going to be a part of the awards conversation as well. And I think it's just going to be good to kind of just see and hear her music again. You know what I mean? Like, I miss her. I miss Aretha. God, Ain't No Way. Bridge Over Troubled Water, like obviously Respect, like it just goes on and on for me.
On and on. She's
Rocksteady, baby. Listen,
That's what it is, y'all.
Come on, Harmony.
There's no harmony with me, dear. I can't sing a lick. I wish. And then sort of closing out the summer, you need to close out the summer with a little horror and a little throwback.
A little horror, a little more nostalgia, yeah.
Candyman.
Candyman.
Don't say it 5 times.
Candyman.
No, don't do it. Don't do it.
Candyman. It is, directed by this amazing talent, Nia DaCosta, who directed Littlewoods and also is directing the upcoming Marvel Cinematic Universe, The Marvels, the sequel to Captain Marvel. Produced by the amazing Jordan Peele and Monkey Paw Productions, Ian Cooper and Wynn Rosenfeld, and then written by Jordan as well, and Wynn Rosenfeld and Nia DaCosta. And I remember watching the first Candyman, and I remember being like disgustingly frightened by it, by Tony Todd and just everything that it represented. Like it just gave me so many chills and like, and like also remembering in school, because I was young when it came out too, like the people dare you to say it in the bathroom with the lights off and everything else. And no one ever got to that 5th one because they were just like, oh no, he's definitely coming. So I'm excited about it. Like it is going to be, again, a great way to wrap up the summer with a little bit of fear and scariness. Let's
talk about this cast.
This Black beautiful cast. Yes.
Whew.
Yahya Abdul-Mateen II.
I'm clutching my pearls already because speaking of just a force in the acting world right now, from Watchmen to, oh my gosh, he was in the
Chicago 7.
The Chicago 7, and really wish he had, that role had been bigger for him. And he is just, every time he comes on screen, he lights it up. It's not just because he's a beautiful Black man, but he lights it up. He is a super talented guy. And I will just say this, one of my favorite things or interviews I've seen him in is with Danielle Young, where they paint the Candyman. They do a little painting session. Talk about charming and sexy, and I'm talking about Danielle Young, by the way.
Danielle's always fantastic. We love Danielle Young. Yes, it was so good. It was so good. And Yahya is so like, he's such a smart, intentional human being, and he's so like his words are so captivating. He's just you can tell like he's an actor's actor. Like he's very, very passionate about that. And you just get like sucked in. Did you ever see the episode of Black Mirror when him and Anthony Mackie, the Striking Vipers episode? Have you not seen this? You're looking like okay. First of all, after you're done, you're watching that episode and we're talking about it. It's on Netflix. It's so good. It's so good, DeDe. It's Anthony Mackie and Yahya, and I'm not going to spoil it for anybody. If anyone hasn't seen it yet, they need to definitely see it because it's such a conversation. But Nicole Bahari is also she's also in there in that episode as well. And it's not you have to watch Black Mirror over and over again. It's like every episode is a different story, so you literally can just watch Striking Vipers episode of Black Mirror, and it is a game changer. It is so good. So like he's just such a, again, you just get pulled in everything. So he has Candyman coming up, and he's in a new Matrix movie, and he's also reprising his role from Aquaman and then the sequel. So there's a lot of great things. You're going to see a lot of him very, very soon.
I hope so. Put him in all the movies. And then Vanessa Williams is also in the movie. Tiona Parrish, who, speaking of just doing her thing, having not even the moment, because she's been at this for so long, and she is, but she's young and she's just doing it, and it's always so great. No shade on my light-skinned sisters, but it's always great to see a beautiful brown, dark-skinned woman, Black woman, leading movies and cast in these very diverse roles. Like she's just and her hair, I'm a natural hair aficionado, and hers is just
it's beautiful. And she's great. She's
course,
fantastic. She's a force. And I loved her in, most recently she was in The Photograph, directed by Stella McGee, and also she was in WandaVision on Disney Plus recently too, which was great. And she's reprising that same character, Monica Rambeau, in the Marvels. So she's reuniting with Nia DaCosta again. So it's just so exciting to see her again. Like, they all are working and they are doing the thing, and I love it. I can't wait.
And of course, our just the most elegant, dapper man, Coleman Domingo.
Coleman.
Not only is he in Candyman, he is also in
ZOLA.
In ZOLA,
yeah.
And we both love him so much from If Beale Street Could Talk.
Oh gosh, that's another episode. Let's talk about If Beale Street Could Talk. Like, it's such a gosh, Barry Jenkins, God bless you.
Well, speaking of Barry Jenkins, that is a perfect segue into what Mr. Jenkins is doing, quote unquote, for the small screen, right?
Yeah. Underground Railroad.
Whew, I have to get my mind right for that. So, small screen, we have so much to look forward to on the quote unquote small screen this summer. The Underground Railroad is actually already out. I have not watched it yet. I am saving it. I'm excited to see it. I've just been hearing amazing things about it. I do have to be in the right headspace to see this, but I'm excited for it. Thuso Mbedu is getting rave reviews, playing Cora. She is another like young Black queen, just a force to be reckoned with, and it's already buzzing around. Yeah. It's buzzing not only around the industry and the community.
Yeah, you're right. It's buzzing. Critics love it. It's a 95% on Rotten Tomatoes, which is amazing. Written, directed, and produced by Barry Jenkins, Oscar winner, who we all love from Moonlight and If Beale Street Could Talk. And again, I love that. I love the. I've been watching and listening to a lot of interviews that they've been talking about, and I haven't watched it either because I want to really just take it all in and really just open myself up to just everything that's going to come to me, but I know a lot of emotions will be coming to me about it, so I want to really truly make sure I'm in the right mind space. But he was so, everyone always says that Barry Jenkins knows how to film black people. He knows how to film Black skin. Everything looks like a piece of art, like every frame, every scene. And I've seen that already just in the trailers and the images and things that I've seen and everything I've read about it. It all says that. So I'm really, 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 really looking forward to seeing this, and probably crying and probably being emotional and going through a whole bunch of experience. But I'm also a history buff, and I also just love seeing different variations and different stories of that. And one thing to note too, this Underground Railroad is actually based off of a novel of the same name by Colson Whitehead. So there's an opportunity to watch it, and also the opportunity to read the book as well.
100%. Well, listen, maybe it's just because we're coming off this really insane year, but my feelings and emotions watching High on the Hog, the Netflix, it's only 4 episode series that just came out about African-American food and our contributions to the culinary world in general, but it's done in a way that gives so much context about why and how we eat as Americans, not just Black Americans. A lot of it, of course, happens in the South. They don't quite make their way to Alabama, but it's really interesting to see the history behind why we eat what we eat in certain places. I think I cried through every episode.
Wow.
But I also was so joyous about it. It made me really think about how it made me really think about my family's connection to food and why we eat what we eat, and
Yeah.
things that my dad, who's from Africatown, in Mobile, Alabama, things that he exposed me to, and why and how, and just growing up in the South, and growing a lot of your food, and gardening and all of that, and why it is one of the best things I've seen. I hope they expand on the series. It's based on a book by, oh my God, what is her name? I just lost it, but it's hosted by Steven Soderfeld, who is a food writer, historian. I think he's from the ATL. And he really does his thing as a host because he's also a trained chef. He has so much reverence for the culture and food. And so he doesn't just write about it, he cooks it, he lives it. He's grown up immersed in it. So it's just really a beautiful show. And I hope everybody watches that.
It's on my list too. I guess that's also the beautiful thing too. There's so much content to watch right now, and you kind of have to just divide and conquer everything. So I've heard nothing but great things about it. Shout out to Netflix for producing it and putting it up there, because I think it's such an important conversation to have. One of my favorites that recently came on too, that's on STARZ, is Run the World, which is probably one of my favorite shows of the summer right now. It debuted maybe a couple weeks ago on the 16th of May, and it is such a fun show about Black women just being successful, being smart, being sexy in New York. Amber Stevens West is in it, and Andrea Bordeaux, my girl Brisha Webb, a dear friend. Corbin Reed it's such a refreshing show. And I'm not going to compare it to anything else because you easily could try to do that, because I think it stands on its own. And I love it. It's comedic. It has so much heart. It has so much laughter. And again, it's a talk about representation, and you talk about just 4 Black women just existing and just going through their day. And, some days it's a good day, some days it's a bad day. But, it's not like it's tropey. It's not anything like that. It's refreshing. It's so freaking refreshing, DeDe. It's called Run the World. And I love it. First of all, also the fashions are amazing. Like, they are on point. Like, they just...
Patricia Fields is the costume. She brings
always.
it.
And it's the colors, the vibrancy, the patterns, the heels. Like, I'm just like, oh God, if I had the energy to just dress up like this every single day, I would totally be there. But I don't.
John, I cannot wait. Those 4 women were me back in the early 2000s. And the only reason I haven't watched it yet is because, me, I like to binge.
You like to binge.
I start and I don't want to. I don't want to be done, and I want to see it all at one time.
Yeah.
And so I'm just waiting 2 more weeks so I can get a good 4 or 5 episodes under my belt and not be like.
Yeah, tomorrow's episode 4, so you need to start it tomorrow. I feel like that's enough for you to be okay, or start it this week. Enough to be okay, because it is really good. It's 30 minutes. Brisha is so funny in it. And
she's also amazing. There's nothing she cannot do. I know she's your friend. There's nothing she cannot do. It makes me so happy to see her pop up in places, and you're just like, wait, this girl is out here working.
Yeah,
working.
She's working, and she's doing it so well, and I love it. And again, too, it's so, the relatability of the stories are so because some are married, some are just dating. There's so much there, and there's also a lot of great Black men supporting characters as well. So it's a fun show. It's a fun show. It's a great show, and I definitely encourage everyone to take a journey to watching Run the World on Sundays on STARZ.
Great. Well, we've got a couple more shows this summer that we're psyched about. It looks like our girl Issa will be back.
Our girl Issa will be back. And she just recently said that they're almost done wrapping up the season. and she was a little emotional about it. Like this has been a part of her life for so long, obviously. But Insecure is it's debuting its last and final season this summer. And I know me personally, I'm always tuning in every single Sunday to watch it and to see what happens with her and her friends and her characters. I am an avid lover of that show, and
you are an Insecure stan.
I am an Insecure stan, and I'm also Team Lawrence 100%. And I cannot wait to see what happens with them because I know how it is. Your ex is not really your ex for a minute. And I am excited about that. And I want to see where this goes. If you remember the last season, there's a baby potentially brewing somewhere in his life. So like, I want to see how that affects their new rekindled relationship. Oh God, I'm going to start crying because I love Insecure. I just think it's such a moment of just like, again, of like reflection, because I think there's so much relatability in those characters between like Issa and Molly's character of just their friendship, of like kind of the ups and downs of their friendship, and just how that goes through. Like sometimes you grow out of people sometimes. So I really feel like they take these really pivotal life moments and make them relatable, yet also comedic, but also emotional, and all these other, like they just bring all the feels there. And I personally can't wait to see what happens on this final season.
It does. I mean, you get to see them fail and triumph and struggle. And I mean, listen, it's they're definitely many, many years younger than me, but I really relate to a lot of their struggles. Probably around the same time in my life, and it shines a light on young Black professionals.
Yeah.
And certainly so I guess that's millennials. They're in the millennial age range. And I do know younger non-Black folks that watch it, and they're really just captivated by, because you know the saying, the more niche something is, the more universal it is, right? So it really, those themes of friendship and finding yourself and struggle and finding your voice and overcoming, your own self-sabotage and all of those things, just like trying to figure your way out in the way forward in the world. It's just, the writing is so thoughtful.
It is.
I love that they've gotten the Black female directors and writers, and we won't, I mean, you already know how I feel about the fashions. Shout out to Shiona.
Right, shout out to Shiona. And I mean, shout out to like, Issa's a producer, Prentice Penny's a producer, my girl Melina Matsoukas is a producer as well, and also directed. I remember she directed a few of the early episodes of when it first came out, and so it's just it's set in California. It owns its Blackness. It's such a
Blackity Black
It's Blackity Black in all the right ways and best ways. And Issa, Yvonne, Jay Ellis, Natasha Rockwell, who I love, Amanda Seales, like it's great. It's shout out to them. Congratulations on your fifth and final season, and I can't not wait to watch it.
Shout out. And then we've got Atlanta coming back this summer. Shout out to the ATL and Donald Glover and
Keith.
Yes,
everyone.
I tell you what, I know that show has done things. Maybe we have Atlanta to blame for all the folks moving to Atlanta right now, driving up the housing prices. But shout out to Donald Glover and the whole cast. Like, it's just, I'm not going to say we're having a moment, but the more shows, the more movies, the more visible representation that we have of a multitude of experiences of the Black experience. And that's a very broad experience, the better. The more people have a window into, again, those things that are very niche and specific to our culture, but that are universal and tie us all together. So cheers to a hot Blackity Black. hot
Not a hot girl summer, but a hot blackity black summer.
Blackity black. Cheers to all of the creators, the marketers, the cast, the crew, everyone working to push these stories forward, these narratives forward. Y'all support, get yourselves to the theater, y'all watch, bring your friends to watch, celebrate our culture, continue to lift us up. And we will see you Black on the Scene very soon. Cheers, Jon Jon.
Cheers, DeDe. Thank you, guys.
Thanks for joining us for episode 3 of Black on the Scene, our love letter to Black entertainment.
Wow, this was a fun episode, and we hope you find the time, make the time to check out all of the amazing Blackity Black content that we mentioned.
And please check back each week as we continue releasing new episodes of Black on the Scene. And don't forget to subscribe, leave us a rating, and follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Black on the Scene. BLK on the SCENE. See you next time.